Alright guys, what's up? It's your boy Khaiza, and today's a peculiar day. We're not gonna be doing fighting game playthroughs, stuff like that, online modes. Today's a very peculiar day. Well, by the time you get this video, it'll be like some time. Let's just say some time. On this date, to be on that date to be exact, that is the day that the first Power Rangers episode, all the way back from Mighty Morphin, the 1990s Day of the Dumpster, where it introduced Jason, Billy, Zach, Trini, and Kimberly as the 5 Power Rangers in our shores. The 5 legendary Power Rangers that started it all. We are going to be doing a tier list on all of the Power Rangers from the very first season all the way to the current season, which we are at now. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing Power Rangers? Well, first of all, it's Power Rangers Day, so... And secondly, Power Rangers is like a growing fandom I love. Like, I love Power Rangers. Some of my favorite things to do is watch Power Rangers. I grew up with Power Rangers. I collected the toys. I got the games. I got like legit Megazords. I got action figures. I still have like a legit Chrono Saber from Time Force chat room. I have like a legit Chrono Saber, albeit it's broken. I have to like find it somewhere. Bad news, I can't find my Chrono Saber. The good news is I found Jar Jar Binks. Look at him, chat. It's fucking Jar Jar Binks, the Sith Lord behind it all, behind all the Star Wars. Power Rangers, Super Sentai are my favorite pastimes, as well as Kamen Rider most recently. So I've just been a Power Rangers nut. Let's start with the first one, Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin, right here, chat. Mighty Morphin is the OG. It has been stuck with us. Their catchy jingle-on, Go Power Rangers. It's a very memorable classic. A lot of people growing up in the 90s remember Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin. It had legit 3 seasons, 3 Sentai seasons. It had Zyuranger, which is Dino themed Power Rangers, Dai Ranger, Kung Fu Power Rangers, and Kaku Ranger, which is Ninja themed Power Rangers, all in this game, all in this season. Although apparently there's another one, which was Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, this one right here. As much as I'll give Mighty Morphin Power Rangers I think I'm gonna give it a C. It's good, it's classy, like we remember it a lot as a kid, but when you look at it now, it's like, wow, Power Rangers have really aged. Like, everything about it is just everything about it is like, it's kind of like the same effect as Dragon Ball Z when we grew up as kids. There was like Dragon Ball Z, you know, like it's hard as rock. It matches well with the show. It's all about dudes like screaming and pissing at each other and growing their power levels, you know, shit like that. But looking at it now, it's like, wow, this is very unnerving as shit, man. How did we ever as kids watch this? Of course, we don't have no sense of taste whatsoever. We grew that brought that in when we became like adults, and when we started and we were introduced to like anime and like more cultured anime with sub or dub or whatever the fuck your anime is watching. It's kind of like that, man. It's just unnerving music all the way through. Like, it's got good characters. It's got the comedy in it. Bulk and Skull, my favorite wacky ass characters. The favorite like joke characters of the series that still linger on to this day, and there are archetypes of them. But looking at it now, it's like, it's good, it's okay, you know, like it's okay, you know, it's nothing too great or fancy. But with Alien Rangers, I'll give it a fucking D because like, why the fuck do the Rangers sound like that? Like, they're like they're in the American show. It's called Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, and they have, you know, ninja attires to them, but they're like little. They got exposed brain heads. Like, it's like looking at like cone heads, but way grotesque. I don't know how they put it in a kid show, but I don't know, man. This shit is like D dirty. Next up, Zeo. Zeo was like the next thing after the fall of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and it has Tommy as like the main ranger, and it has the new cast, which had Johnny Young Bosch, JYB was in Power Rangers. He was the second Black Ranger in Mighty Morphin. Because they did like a whole transfer episode segment. So JYB is the Mighty Morphin Black Ranger for currently. But then when it moved to Zeo was like, okay, our base is destroyed, and now we gotta get some new powers to like help us out. Zeo, I don't remember a lot. I just only know like a few certain segments, like the Machine King, the Machine Empire, Jason being the King Ranger. I'm pretty sure it was like a good season, but I'm gonna give this one like a C as well. It's like, it's cool. It's got a banger theme. Zeo go, Zeo, dun 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 dun. You know, like, it's still got the same isms as Mighty Morphin. Same like overabundance of music. There's no like calm moment, but yeah, it's a pretty good season. Power Rangers Turbo. Now this is technically the third Power Rangers, and it pretty much recycles the same cast, excluding one, which was Rocky, and Rocky was like Mighty Morphin Red and Zeo Blue. But he got kicked out and was replaced with a child actor whose role was Justin, and he was Turbo Blue. And it was all about like race car themes and stuff like that. Like the previous three, I don't remember much of Turbo. I only know like a little bit. I only know of Turbo from the movie. There was like a legit full-length Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. A Power Rangers movie, you know? And that introduced Justin, that introduced the Rangers, that introduced like it's a full-length feature film on the beginnings of Turbo. Go to like a ghost island, and their boss or villain is a pirate empress named Divatox. It had some good casts like the Siren Ranger and the Phantom Ranger, but I don't remember anything else about this. It did have yet another power transfer where Tommy Oliver shifted his powers to TJ Thompson, who was the very first Black Ranger in a Power Ranger series. So kudos to that. But I don't remember a lot, nor if I'm like fond of Turbo Power Rangers, because, you know, I haven't seen a lot of it. So I'm gonna give this like a C as well. Power Rangers in Space. Now, In Space was like directly after the events that happened in Turbo, which was like some city, Divatox's Grandmaster Plan fucks up the Power Rangers and they had to leave and they go to space. And so they leave behind Justin, who's like a kid, so they can't like literally go there in space. And so they meet their space friend, space ally, Andros. And that starts Power Rangers in Space. So they ride on the Astro Megazord, going to planet after planet, fighting off evil, mainly Astronema, who later turns out to be Andros' sister. But Astronema was working on Corone, but Corone, under the guise of Astronema, who was like possessed and like mind fucked, works under Dark Spectre. Ooh, it has some good character moments. It breaks away from like the nauseating music of like the older seasons, like they just overabundance of music. But this one was pretty calm. This one was pretty calm. This one was pretty chill. It had some good moments. Got good character development. Andros trying to rescue his sister, trying to become more human because of the Earthling Power Rangers. Has a crush on Yellow Ranger, which is new because all the other like seasons, there's always like the crush of Pink Ranger. Mighty Morphin was the one that started with Tommy Oliver and Kimberly being a couple, but then they like broke off in some events, and so Tommy went out with Kat, who was the replacement for Kimberly. But In Space was a weird one. It was like the do or die moment for Power Rangers. Power Rangers wasn't doing so well after Turbo, because it was just like the same thing. It was just like fighting baddies. Not a lot of like attention span was gained from like audiences, mostly kids, because you know kids love Power Rangers, especially boys. But it was like kind of like rinse and repeat, kind of like the same thing, so nothing new or fresh. And In Space was like the do or die. This was like their moment. This was like Power Rangers' moment to shine. If it failed audience expectations, then Power Rangers were cut. It would do no more. However, In Space gradually became good with like climactic moments, like the end of Divatox, the end of Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed, the end of Dark Spectre, the end of the Zordon era. Because the main goal for In Space was to find Zordon. Because like Andromeda kidnapped him for somehow, somewhere. This was also the season that introduced the Psycho Rangers, the infamous Psycho Rangers, Psycho Black, Psycho Pink, Psycho Red. You know, those dudes that were just like the main antagonists before Dark Spectre and Andromeda. They were solely programmed just to hunt and destroy the Ranger. So I would give Power Rangers In Space an A. Like it's a do or die moment. It's very brave. It's very brave. It's the like the end of all ends for the original Saban series Power Rangers. But it does have like the same trends like usual Power Rangers isms. But that's like it's already a known thing. But we got like first evil Power Rangers. We got the end of all ends. It turned out pretty good. It was like Power Rangers coming all together. There were weird crossovers, especially like fucking the Power Rangers had an episode with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that was a weird one with a female turtle. So that's something. So I'll give this an A. Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Now this is like the new venture forward in Power Rangers after the Zordon saga. It just became its own thing. Now this one was really cool. Every Ranger had an arc, especially the Red Ranger. Pink Ranger got a lot more emphasis in this season, being that the first Pink Ranger dies, then the temporary Ranger comes back. Then the temporary Ranger, Corone, aka Astronema, takes up the mantle, and then returns it back to Kendra, who was the first Galaxy Ranger. It was so good because and it introduced like the granddaddy of them all, the grand Puma of them all, the fucking Magna Defender, bro. Like the Magna Defender. He was the guy who was like a neutral player in the Power Rangers in this Power Ranger season. Basically what happened to him, chat, is that he was a warrior and a protector of the Lights of Orion, which is like a special power-up that the Rangers will eventually get. However, he was battling against Scorpius, and Scorpius, he was the main bad guy. It's like a scorpion fat fuck face who just lies on a chair all the time. And Magnet Defender's beef with Scorpius is that Scorpius killed his son, Zika. And throughout the first arc of him, he just becomes a hellbent monster willing to sacrifice anything just to avenge his son and kill Scorpius. But after meeting Leo, after meeting the Power Rangers of the Lost Galaxy, he starts to change, and he starts to become more honorable, noble, that revenge isn't the way. And he sees that and gives up his life so that the Power Rangers can live another day. And in doing so, it returns Leo's presumed dead brother, Mike, back to life. Resurrects Leo's formerly dead brother back to life. And Mike has like a whole arc because, you know, I'm not that worthy to hold the Magnet Defender mantle, but he does. He becomes an actual member of the Rangers. And then of course the villain side gets like a shine in the light, because we get villains like Trakina, who is a villain, but she's like on again, off again. Doesn't want to be a villain, is a villain. She starts her own villain group with a guy named Villamax, who's like he's a dirty outworlder alien that like teaches her how to stand on her own 2 feet, but starts to develop like humanity within him, you know, after saving a little girl and giving that little girl a flower. So it's like villains are starting to become more humanistic with this one, which is a very good thing, because you don't want your villains to be like one note, one side linear, you know? Like that's just dumb. That's just like repeating old things. So Lost Galaxy, Lost Galaxy deserves an A as well. Lightspeed Rescue. So back to Earth, and this new series of Power Rangers deals with fighting demons. Like legit demons. They actually say it in like a 90s television cartoon kids show. Legit demons, chat room. Introduces the Titanium Ranger, which was the first ever Ranger American exclusive 6th Ranger. Whereas the Sentai version would get like a one-off that would not appear in any other series whatsoever, any other adaptations whatsoever. Titanium Ranger, aka Ryan Mitchell, son of their their squad leader and sister of the Pink Ranger, fighting off demons, Olympus, Diabolico, Queen Banshira. This was a good season because like it's memorable because the villains are so top-notch. Like I remember a lot of the series based on like the endings and like the dialogues between the Rangers and the villains. Fucking Queen Banshira's a bitch and just orders Diabolico to kill his best friend Loki, in the face with a demon cannon. And Diabolico betrays Queen Banshira before his final breath. And that was really good because like, wow, damn, this is a villain that like betrays his creed so that he could save his best friend. Like, fuck, man, this queen is ruthless. He'll do anything to like use us as pawns to murder the Power Rangers. Like, god damn, this is sick. This is freaking sick. I love this. So I think Lightspeed Rescue deserves an A as well. This one's a good season. This one's a good season as well. I like this. Like starting from In Space, then all the way to like Lightspeed Rescue. So far, things are like moving in a generally positive direction for Power Rangers. Things have become more narrative focused. Things become like character driven focused. You know, There's less music in these ones. There's not a lot of like overabundance of music. Like Power Rangers is doing pretty good right now. Power Rangers is doing pretty good. Then it gets banger with this. Fucking Time Force. Fucking Time Force, bro. I'ma just say it right now. S. There you go. No need. Fucking no need, bro. Power Rangers Time Force is a 10 out of 10. Is a 10 out of 10 season. Would watch again multiple times. It's got good characters. It has fucking Virgil as a Power Ranger, man. He's the Quantum Ranger, bro. He's the fucking Quantum Ranger. What else do you need? You got a Devil May Cry character in a Power Ranger season. What more do you want? You got Ransig as like one of the most memorable villains in Power Rangers history. It's all about it's a race Power Rangers, you know? The theme is all about race, humans versus mutants. Like it's literally fucking X-Men. It's literally X-Men. Alright, Wild Force. Wild Force, team of animal fighters. Eagle, lion, shark, bison, tiger. Lashing out with evil orcs that want to destroy humanity. Now this one's a lot more eco-focused. This one's kind of okay. Like, it's still like I'll give it right here. It's Power Rangers Wild Force belongs in the A class. You know, like this is good. It still has the same isms as Power Rangers. Good, quirky, dorky humor. It's got good narrative focus. It focuses on Cole, and Cole is a jungle boy who lived in the literally fucking jungle, raised up by Animaria, protect the planets, protect the people. Introduce Zenaku, badass fucking orc, uses a moon-shaped weapon, and summons a flute. Has his own evil swords. Crossover with Time Force. Conflict with main villain and main good guy, main lead ranger. So that's pretty badass. Like, they share a history that Cole's parents were murdered by the main villain, all because of like jealousy and greed. And it had like a comedic duo, which was like Jindrex and Toxica, kind of like Billy and Skull, but you know, this Billy and Skull was like interesting. Like you see Jindrex care for Toxica, and he'll do anything to like resurrect her back, his dead friend. Resurrect her, yeah, to resurrect his dead friend. You know, but it's not very memorable. It's still like cheesy. Like it's not godlike like Time Force, you know. It's not godlike like Time Force. This one's very eco-friendly because humans like create pollution, and the gods of Animaria, the gods of the Power Rangers season, was like, oh shit, humans are assholes, man. They're creating all this dank shit, you know. We gotta like stop them. We gotta stop them from doing that. But I don't remember much else. Like, just only those pivotal parts, not like an entire season. So it was like, it's alright. So, Ninja Storm, well, after Wild Force, the Saban era was moved to Disney's Jetix at the time, and Jetix would like be a host of shows like Get Ed, Yin Yang Yo, Metalbots, Super Robot, Monkey Team, Hyperforce Go, all those godlike shits. And Power Rangers was one of them. And I think was Disney Jetix, I believe. I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong. I know one of the later Power Rangers was on Jetix. Holy god. But Ninja Storm was like the first new wave of Power Rangers. So it went back to the old formula, abundance of music, but not too much. Not fucking too much. Just only in certain battles and shit. Ugh, excuse me. It was the first season to have a 3-man squad. Like a 3-person squad. Red, blue, yellow. Had a legacy cast. Second ninja team after Aliens. second ninja team after aliens, but this one focused on like just ninjas. Like these are like California bros and broskis, like, and they are trained to become ninjas in the elements of earth, water, and air. Power of air, water, earth, you know, shit like that. They fight an evil dickface called Lothar. They're evil space ninjas. So, and I'm pretty sure the Sentai equivalent had evil space ninjas as well. But this one was done much better than something we'll come across later. It had good evil Team Rangers that turned good, the Thunder Rangers. Blake and I only know Blake. Fuck. Hunter, yes. Hunter, there you go. Then came Cam. Shane died out of random causes. I think it was like suicide. Very heart-wrenching to hear that a Power Rangers like most recently like died. I mean, there were others from the Power Rangers legacy that have passed away, like Trini from Mighty Morphin, and Trini from Mighty Morphin, and Rita Repulsa. Ninja series, good character development, same Power Rangers isms, like all that stuff. This one deserves like an A. Dino Thunder. Fucking Dino Thunder. Now, Dino Thunder is the one after Ninja Storm, obviously. But this one is like 3-man squad as well. Connor, Ethan, and Kira. Set in a high school setting, so this one went back to high school. Went back to like Mighty Morphin class setting, you know. Which is like very, very odd. Very odd and a very dumb decision because, you know, high school is a good setting, right? But after a while, it's like, man, I hate high school. There's nothing awesome about high school. There's nothing memorable about my high school experience. Says every single one of us, unless you're like, you know, pro athlete, unless you're like a social stud or shit like that. I'm just a nerd. I would just stay quiet. I'm just the fucking geek. I'm just the fucking geek. Me and my boys were like, you know, we're like not social butterflies, or was it unsocial butterflies, you know? We would just like not be exuberant as like other kids were. You were just like going to high school, we hanged out with our own friends, that was it. So they had to like go, so back to here, they had to like go to high school, which is like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But it has Tommy Oliver as a returning cast. He's the legacy Power Ranger from Mighty Morphin, coming back into Dino Thunder, probably because of some, maybe like contract or some shit. And this time he's a high school teacher for this season, and it's dinosaur themed, so it's like a legacy, it's like an anniversary season. So it was pretty good. Introduce evil bad guy Trent, later good guy Trent as the White Dino Ranger. This one was cool. Like, had the same isms. Good character development. You know, good character arc structure. And it was just a pretty good season. Memorable cast. For villains, I mean, Elsa, Zeltrax, Mesagog. You know, those guys were cool. Although I hated a little bit more on Elsa because she's just like the side villain chick. Zeltrax was a lot more memorable, so was Mesagog. Because he was like... Power Rangers always had like a live action villain instead of like cheap costumes. Cheap like Sentai costumes, like their Sentai counterparts are. Well, older Sentais always had costume dudes, but they never had like. But some of them didn't have like live action. Most of them did. Like most of the old ones, but some of them didn't do that, like in the later seasons of Sentai. It's got a great ending. It goes to prom, because like that's like the big thing. It's like prom is like signal for like the high school end, or unless it's like or unless it's like summer vacation, shit like that. That's declassified stuff. This one also deserves a 10. This one also deserves an A. This one's pretty good. SP fucking D. Space Patrol Delta. This one's an S. This one's an S. Should I say any more? No. S.P.D's really good. It's like the OG Super Sentai. It's like the OG Power Rangers. It has the second black character as a Red Ranger. He's a lead Red Ranger until it was shifted over to the Blue Ranger, because the Red Ranger had to leave and find more ways to look for his life. But S.P.D was just overall a good season. Like I always rewatch this show a lot, like fucking a lot. Every character is unique. Every character has an arc. You know, the villains are grossly good, are disgustingly good, you know? Except for like the main villain, because he just wants, you know, evil dickhead space tentacle alien Omni just wants world destruction. That's it. Broodwing kind of a little bit, because he's like a loan shark, a galaxy loan shark that just owes money. That just like, you know, wants money and shit from his associates. But, you know, he's like, alright. The main guys are Emperor Grum and Morgana. So those are the more memorable ones. It has the most badass fucking commander squad leader of all time in a Power Ranger season, and that's fucking doggy ass Doggy Kruger. Fucking Doggy Kruger, bro. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking Doggy Kruger, man. He's goddamn cool as shit, man. He's got a dark past. He fought with the main bad guy, Emperor Grum. He gave Grum a scar by cutting off one of his horns. He's a swordsman. He has the Shadow Saber. Oh my god, he's so goddamn sick. And I'm happy as hell he plays so goddamn good in Battle for the Grid. He plays so damn good in Battle for the Grid, man. Oh my god, dude. It's unbelievable how good Doggy Kruger is. And the whole season is like revolved around Emperor Grum versus Shadow Ranger. And that's something crazy, because, you know, usually main villains would always target the main group of Rangers. You know, sometimes the whole group, or sometimes just the one Red Ranger. It was always the Red Ranger. But this one was just, he was vengeful enough to target only Doggy Kruger. Doggy Kruger, man. And that's pretty badass. Like, we don't get like Power Rangers enough to where they target only like the 6th Ranger. Some do, like Lightspeed with Diabolico and Ryan. Diabolico giving Ryan the curse. Ryan doing his own thing, like to stop the demon invasion, confronting Queen Banshira on his own. Shit like that. You know, the Magnet Defender being one of them. But this one was much more prominent, dude. Like, this one was just like full fucking circle. Like, beginning to end, it was all between Doggy Kruger and Emperor Grum. Like, goddamn, man. It had some of the best episodes. It had some of the best moments. It had mostly good moments. Like, this was like the OD Power Rangers. This one is like S tier, man. Need I say more? No. Need I say more? No, I shouldn't. Like, this one's like the obvious fucking Power Rangers as S tier, bro. Oh my god. Mystic Force, the weirdest one of them all. I like the whole concept is around magic, and it's all about wizard rangers, like spellcaster rangers. In the Sentai version, the main cast are one big happy family, you know, until their mom got fucking bodied by the Blizzador, aka Korag. They're just a band of brothers and sisters helping each other out. Now this one, there's only one sister, which was the pink and the blue ranger. So they're sisters. This one was the first season to have a blue ranger as a female and a yellow ranger as a male. So that's good. Changing gender boundaries, I like that. But as a season, it doesn't kind of hold up. Only like a good few things about Mystic Force was really banger, and that was fucking Korag the Wolf Ranger. But this one deserves like a B. Same line as Might Morphin. It's alright. Now Operation Overdrive is like another anniversary season, kind of like In Space, kind of like Wild Force. This one was a treasure hunting series. And this one had good character development as well. Like, there's no bad character development after In Space. Oh no, after Turbo. There's no bad character development after Turbo. You know, that just didn't know what the characters were doing, what the writers were doing when they made these characters. But Operation Overdrive was a pretty good season. Every character had a good arc. I'm sorry. Oh no. I think some characters had their good arcs. Most notably the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger. Basically, treasure hunt the season. The Corona Aurora grants any wish, grants you unlimited power. Shit like that. This one kind of deserves a B. Can't say much about it. There's only like a few moments that make me hype for Operation Overdrive, and that's like the 6th Ranger, that's the anniversary special with the previous Power Rangers, only like the 3rd Rangers. Like ninjas, like they had Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, S.P.D, and Mystic Force, and Mighty Morphin. So it was JYB, Xander, Tori, Kira, and Bridge, because they were like the unique ones. They were the popular ones of each. But other than that, it was alright. Other than you know, Red and Black, they were alright. It was alright. This one's like deserves a B. We come to another goat. That's fucking Jungle. That's fucking Jungle Fury. S tier. Freaking S tier, bro. There you go. This guy is S tier. It's a martial arts Power Rangers. It's another Beast Legacy Power Rangers like Wild Force and stuff. But this one focuses on like martial arts. And each character has their growing arcs to them. And it has one of the most memorable bad guys in Power Rangers history, and that's Daishi. Red Ranger gets a good arc. RJ's a good ass mentor. He's like the chill mentor. Shit like that. Dominic is a good character. He gets his own arc. Theo and Lily are cool too. Like, this one is just S tier, man. Now we get to RPM. So this one was based off like the goofball, wacky comedy of Power Rangers, which was Engine Psycho Go Onjun. But this one, RPM, was like a serious like change from the Sentai version. This season was literally like Skynet takes over. A machine virus called Vengeance takes over every computer system in the known world, leaving humanity with one option only, trapped in this tech-free, virus-free dome called Cornith. and the scientist behind them, Dr. K, child prodigy engineer, who was the person that creates Venjix because of her years trapped in a government holding cell. RPM is good because it's like a more serious tone to the Engine Sentai, to the Go Under counterpart. This is the third time that a black person plays the Red Ranger, so that's very bonus. We get more of those. We get a little bit more of those often. We get a little bit more of those as the series comes down with more seasons. And this one was the last of the Jetix era Power Rangers, starting from Ninja Storm. So we had like Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, S.P.D, Mystic Force, Operation Overdrive, Jungle Fury, and RPM. So that's like a whole lot of seasons under the Disney belt. This one was like the last one before Saban, the Power Rangers like franchise, had to move to another major company studio. But this one was a good season. Like, it took a more serious tone. Like, the Rangers had to fight machines, evil machines. Then they had to fight the mega bad guy, which was fucking Venjix. Literally ceased some of the Rangers to existence. So that was pretty scary. That was pretty cool. Everyone had their own arc. The Doctor had its own arc. Scott has his own arc. You know, everybody had their own arc, except for like the auxiliary Rangers, like the Gold and Silver, Gem and Gemma. They were just there as like, you know, wacky twin goofballs. You know, shit like that. They're like, you know, punch first, talk later type of guys. And of course, they had their own arc. They started to become more of like responsible Rangers, but nothing too crazy about them. Yeah. This one, RPM is a pretty good one, so this one like deserves an A. This one deserves an A. It's not S tier, but it's pretty good. It still has Power Rangers isms, but it's still a good season altogether. We come to the dirtiest of grinds now. We come to the Nickelodeon era of Power Rangers, starting off with Samurai. Samurai was the first Power Rangers season to be owned under Nickelodeon Studios. And with that comes a series of what the fucks. So in this new season, it goes back to the old formula. It just does stupid nostalgia goggles. Goes back to Might Morphin. Blasted back with music. Usual jokes and isms. Everyone's like fucking happy-go-lucky. There are serious moments in Samurai, and this was like, by the way, this is the first Power Rangers season to be split up into two parts. Samurai and Super Samurai, and this would be a later trend in all of the Nickelodeon seasons to come. But Samurai, like, it's a cool season. However, it does fall off, you know, the deep end. Most memorable are the villains. No Ranger I really liked in this season. Maybe a little bit for Jaden because he's the Red Ranger. And he's like programmed that way to be a badass. But there's not much I can say about Samurai other than Decker. And Decker is just he's literally Wild Force Cole just in another role as a villain. And I told that to Jerry the first time. I was like, did you check out Samurai? Did you check out Decker? Bro, he's Cole Evans from Wild Force. And he was like, what the fuck? I had to see this. That little awe in astonishment. The Japan version of Samurai is a lot more better than this. It's a lot more better. It just feels like no other character is very memorable. what was it? Jaden, Kevin, Mike, Gia, Emily, right? And then Antonio. Jaden like super. He's like the perfect boy. Kevin the fuck boy because he follows like duty and responsibility. Mike the lazy boy. Emily the sweet nature boy, and Gia the mature woman. So I'll get Samurai like a C. It's like, it's okay. Here comes the bad ones. Megaforce, D, bad. Goes back to high school. Fuckboy Red Ranger. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. All he has to go by is a dream. You know, fuckboy Black Ranger, fuckboy Blue Ranger. He's like a typical stereotype nerd. Typical stereotype athlete. Typical stereotype perfect girl Gia. Typical stereotype sweet-natured Pink Ranger. Like, it's just like repetitive beats. It's just nostalgia on Mighty Morphin onto Megaforce. And this was like Megaforce, and we'll talk about this now. Super Megaforce, D-list as well, is supposed to be the anniversary season. It's supposed to be the legit anniversary season of Power Rangers. And it flops fucking hard, dude. We were supposed to get all like badass moments from previous Power Rangers. But this season showed off Samurai, it showed off Jungle Fury. It had cameos from Time Force, Turbo, Lost Galaxy, like Lightspeed Rescue. It just flops so fucking hard. Like the Sentai equivalent Gokaiger is a lot more better. At least like Gokaiger respects his legacy. At least Gokaiger respects the legacy of Power Rangers, you know? Like, where did they fuck up so wrong in these two seasons, you know? Like, legit Super Megaforce is supposed to be fucking pirates. This is a pirate Power Rangers. You can tell just by their swords. You can tell just by their emblems. You can tell just by their freaking ship. They have a freaking pirate ship, bro. And they just made it into like a tame Megaforce because, you know, kids can't become fucking pirates, man. That's bad parenting. That's bad childhood. That didn't stop Gokaiger in Japan, motherfuckers. Man. These are like the worst seasons by far of Power Rangers and Nickelodeon. And that started with like Samurai. And this is like a continuing trend from onward. Dino Charge, literally, it's kind of like a little bit bump. They had like Samurai, Megaforce, and Super Megaforce all have the same notes and beats of the intro song from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is another nostalgia criticism. Like, why the fuck do they have to carry the same intro beats in Samurai, Megaforce, and Super Megaforce? That is bullshit. Like, that is fucking lazy, dude. How? What was going on in like Nickelodeon's mind? What was going on in Saban's mind when they made that deal with Nickelodeon, the fucking scumbags, ruining Power Rangers? I'm sorry, but these are like the legit worst seasons. And it continues that trend with Dino Charge. Same music, hardly any characters to remember by. Same goofy ass material like in Mighty Morphin. Again, another nostalgia look. Like copy and paste nostalgia effect from Mighty Morphin onto later Power Ranger seasons. This one was like, okay, the only thing I could remember it by was the intro song. That is it. That is fucking it. That is it. That's all I get. That's all I get from this Power Ranger season. and nothing else. Nothing else. Like, I only saw like Dino charge through its entirety, and there was Super Dino charge as well. Another one of those seasons, like Samurai, Super Samurai, Mega Force, Super Mega Force, shit like that. This one is just, wow, dude. Wow. I don't remember anything. At least the intro was good, so it's a C, I'll give it that. It's trying to do something unique. However, this one is just ass. This one is just ass. This one is just ass in the fucking can, man. Fucking Ninja Steel. We go back to high school. We go back to high school. Why the fuck do you have to go back to high school? Why the fuck do you have to go back to high school? And there's no characters there. There's literally nothing. All I just see is the red, blue, green, red, blue, yellow, white, and pink. And gold. That's it. That's fucking it. Like, what the fuck? I hardly remember anything as well. All I just remember is the first season, which was Ninja Steel, and that was it. Ninja Steel. Not Super Ninja Steel, which was like, what the fuck? I remember this being spanned to like 3 seasons. Until it reached the final boss. Or maybe like 2. Ninja Steel and Mega Ninja Steel. Shit like that. Shit is dumb. And I remember, chat, real story. It was my cousin's birthday party. Danielle, he was like 4 or 5 years old. And we had like an outdoor party before coronavirus, and it was just like a big like kiddie party. Everybody was there, family was there. We had like treats, cakes, pool parties, stuff like that. I didn't join. I can't do swimming. I just like spectate from afar. But my god, there was like, and my cousin is like a big Power Rangers fan because, you know, he's a kid, so of course he's a boy, he's a kid, so he obviously loves boy kid things. And my aunt hired somebody to play the movie Power Rangers, like the Power Rangers movie, you know, the big budget movie, which we don't cover in this tier list because it's a movie, so that doesn't count, only TV shows. But we got a legit like guy dressed up as like the movie version of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and it was alright. Like, I didn't pay any attention to it. At least it wasn't directed to me because it was directed to the kids. So kids are like, you know, they're sponges. They absorb whatever they're new and like hip what's going on, which is like a shame because, you know, parents are just, not to criticize parents or any authoritative figure over a kid, but you're kind of teaching them wrong on like the ways of fiction, like with Power Rangers and shit. Like, this is not the season. But then again, teach their own. Children learn as they develop. Shit like that. Ninja Steel is just like fucking sucks, dude. And there was like songs of Power Rangers Ninja Steel's theme just like on and on repeat, and I'm just like, oh god. Oh my god. I was just like banging my head on the wood surface. I was just like, oh fuck. Oh fuck. No, shit like that. And then the last one, Beast Morphers. Beast Morphers, I can't say a lot because that was like at the time I turned myself off from Power Rangers altogether, American Power Rangers altogether. So I was just like, oh my god, man, I hate this shit now. I really hate this shit. I don't want to go back into this shit anymore. But I heard from a couple of homies from my friends group that Beast Morphers is pretty alright. This is like the first time that a black person is playing a Red Ranger, a lead Red Ranger, so that's hella good. But I've not watched it to begin with. This season is the equivalent to the Japanese version, which is called Go Busters. So they're basically spy espionage Power Rangers, but they mix it up and change, and it's called Beast Morphers. So the main Rangers mix like animal DNA, and that's their motif as Rangers. Yeah. So this is my Power Rangers tier list, chat room. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoyed it. You can give comments. If you agree with this list or not. If you agree with my criticisms or not, I'll take both. Be sure to like the video. And yeah. Power Rangers.